Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Maya from Simply Bloom. So if you didn't see my last video, go check it out. I did a David Austin rose unboxing. I live in Zone 3, northern Minnesota. David Austin doesn't have any zones that, or roses that go down to Zone 3. That sun is incredible. Let me show you. Sorry, I got distracted. Do you see that sun coming up over my cut flower garden? Look at that. It's not doing justice, but it's just like this orange ball of fire. That's crazy. Okay, I'm back. So David Austin, they don't have any roses suitable down to Zone 3. However, I have a lot of Zone 4 stuff in my garden that does survive. I contacted David Austin Roses directly, explained my situation. I love your roses, but I'm in a Zone 3, and they gave me some tips and tricks to try to help them survive the winter. So I'll probably do a video on that, you know, later in the year when I'm getting all my roses ready to go to bed for winter. So today I was just going to plant them out in the landscape. I thought I knew where I wanted all of them to go. Now I'm having doubts. I'm putting in 3 new flower beds this year, and I'm not sure if I want to put them in the new ones or the old ones, especially since I'm not sure how the new ones are going to kind of play out. I am having surgery in 3 days. That's why I'm putting it into pots instead of just directly in the landscape. And I can just root out in the pots and be fine. Much better than in the box. What I did last night, I let them soak for, they soaked for about 3.5 hours. And then I just put them back in this bag, wrapped them really tight to keep the moisture in, and then just shut the box. And here we are the next morning. All right. This is what we're going with. I did a whole unboxing, like I said, on my last video, so go check it out. But obviously, as I plant, I will be, I'll be going through the varieties. So David Austin, they did it. If you order some, check the back or outside of your boxes, because they include a planting guide. Oh, I think this is one of the roses that I got. I believe that is a Queen of Sweden, which is one of the ones that I got. But I'm just gonna run through them quickly here. Okay, so it says step 1 right there. If you're planting bare root, which is what I am, they said soak in a bucket of water for at least 2 hours prior to planting. And then I will be potting them up. So I'm just using potting mix, which is light and fluffy, but they said it's really important to really, when you're planting them in the ground, really fluff up that soil with like a digging fork, make it loose and fluffy so the roots they're not squished, they can penetrate the soil easier. And then dig a hole big enough for your roots. They recommended 16 inches wide, 16 inches deep. Again, break up the bottom of that hole with a digging fork. And then this is the one that I really wanted to show you. When it comes to planting bare roots, they have a product that you can sprinkle over the root ball. It just helps establish the roots easier. Right here, it says helps the roots of the plants to extract water, nutrients from the soil, helps stimulate new growth, and helps plant cope with environmental stress. So you're going to sprinkle this on the roots. I thought one packet did 2 roses. I'll just be splitting 2 packets between the 5 roses. And then when you actually place the rose in the hole, it says that the bottom of the stems should be 2 inches below the top of the hole. So you can see they're actually putting like the bottom of the stems lower than the top of the hole. So this one, I'd say here's my bottom of my stems here. I'm going to be putting that 2 inches below soil. So I'm going to be bringing the soil actually like up here, at least according to the picture. So that's what I'm going to do. Backfill the hole around the roots, water really, really well. So that's what we're going to do today. So I wasn't sure what size pots to use. I have 2, obviously. I'm not going to be leaving these roses in here all summer long. This is just temporary until I can figure out where I want to plant them. So I'm gonna fit, I think, most of them into these, what is this, 3-gallon? I'm not sure. I think it's like a 3-gallon pot. And then there's a couple with some very nice roots. I didn't want to jam them in, so I'll probably be putting them into this 7-gallon pot here. But I'm just going to get started. I'm going to be using just plain old potting mix. I'll start with the one that I just showed you. Look at those roots. Yeah, definitely not going to put them in that one. So this is the Lady of Shallot. It's a beautiful orange. I mainly got this one for my husband because he really likes orange, and it's the perfect color orange. It is a perfect color orange to have in the garden, kind of like a apricot sherbet color orange. And I'm going to be pairing it with Cat's Pajamas Nepeta. I think that's, oh, and delphiniums. I think the blue from the Cat's Pajamas, and I have some blue delphiniums. That's just gonna look a stunner. I'm gonna start with putting a little bit of soil in at the bottom. Oops. All right, I'm going to take my rose. Gonna have to kind of twine the roots a little bit. I would have preferred to have spread the roots out a little bit more, but since this is just going to be temporary, just like a couple weeks at the most. Hopefully I'll get them in before my surgery. If not, you know, 2 weeks and I'll get them in the ground. So I really doubt that they would be rooted in by then. So I can kind of extend the roots once they are planted out in the landscape, so they're not so like swirled around. All right, again, I brought that soil a couple inches up the stems. And guess what I forgot? I forgot, and I just talked about it. I forgot to sprinkle this on the roots. Jeez. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move on to the next rows. I'll be using the soil out of that bucket to get some of the soil out, and then I'll repot that one. Jeez, Maya. Okay, this one is Princess Alexandra of Kent. It is, I think, a perfect rose. I really went for roses that had a high petal count. I just love the more petals, the better in my opinion. And this is the perfect pink, high petal count. Again, I'm gonna be pairing it with some blue. I have some blue Veronica. More delphiniums. Should have brought scissors. There we go. Okay, so these two roses have the biggest root system, so I will be splitting this one packet between the two, and then my second packet I'll be splitting with the other 3 roses because they have smaller root systems. So I'm just going to take this. Oh, jeez. I just dumped the whole package in this day. This is a day, you guys. Okay. Well, on that note, just dropped the package, the whole thing dumped upside down. Imagine me sprinkling it from the envelope. Okay, going with this rose. There's a little bit left. All right, do as I say, not as I do. Again, just pop this in and bury it just above the stems. right, there we go, just above the stems. Moving back to this poor rose. Sorry you got ripped out of your new home. All right, Lady of Shallot done. Okay, moving on, I have the, I'm not sure how to say this one, I'll put up on the screen, but it's the Perfect Pink with like a apricot center, gorgeous peachy apricot center, absolutely beautiful. Make sure I don't forget this time. All right, sprinkle some of this. All right, that one's done. Moving on, I have the Queen of Sweden, which is just the prettiest soft pastel pinks ever. And I was reading this one has a very upright facing. A lot of the other blooms of roses, they can, you know, they can face all directions. There's some upright, there's some that faces straight out, maybe a few that kind of nod down. But this has a very upright growth habit, which I'm thinking I want to put this one right outside my kitchen window. So when I'm doing the dishes, I can just see all these beautiful faces, bloom faces just reaching towards the sky. All right, moving on to the last one. I have Gertrude Jekyll, and again, I apologize if I said any of these incorrectly. All right, that is it. Last one done. I am just going to water them in. If you have any David Austin roses in your collection, let me know what varieties you have. I love hearing what other people are planting. I'm just gonna water these in and then just get going on everything else that I have to get done in 3 days. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.